Okay, for you guys who are doing SolidWorks, I am going to go ahead and post a video showing how to do this last exercise. This will be your last exercise. So if you've not done all your work, this is an opportunity to catch up. All work is due by Friday, so I know in the Google Classroom it had Wednesday as the due date, but since we were given Friday as the final date for all work, I just decided to extend it 2 days. So this will be due Friday. Also, just so you know, I am allowed, at least for a short time, to accept some late work. So if you're behind trying to get a lot caught up, you need help, by all means, just shoot me an email. I helped somebody today on using Google Meets, and it worked out pretty well. So I'm always glad to help people, help you guys get this stuff done. So anyhow, let's get started. So this particular one is uh, rib and shell features. Uh, Actually, no, that's not it. Just stay with me for a second. We'll get through rib and shell features. We've already done that one. Here we go. Shell and mirror features is the actual one we're working on. And so let's get started on that. We're going to make basically what's a styrofoam tray. I told you guys, I think in the exercise, to go ahead and use steel because I didn't want to confuse you guys, because I didn't think you guys could find styrofoam on the list. It's polystyrene. It's called PS something another. And anyhow, rather than confuse you guys when we're not in the classroom, I decided to go ahead and let you guys make this steel. So that's what we'll do. But let's get started. So we're going to start off by drawing a rectangle, and notice that the rectangle does not start on the origin. I always notice that kind of stuff. I also notice that we're going to be inches, which we're default to inches, but we do need to have our decimal places set for 3. And so I'm going to check that really quick and make sure that I'm set for 3 decimal places, and I am. I am already set up for 3 decimal places. So we're good to go. And so I'm going to draw my rectangle at 6 by 630. So I'm going to go on the top plane, start a new sketch, and then I'm going to go ahead and do my rectangle. And we got that, so we just need to add some dimensions. So let's take a look and see what those dimensions are supposed to be. 6 across the top and 6.3 on the right. So I'm going to go ahead and make that 6. And I'm going to make this 6.3. And then it had us do a dimension right here. So I'm going to take a look at that, and that's supposed to be 0.4. And you can see there's a little short center line there that we're going to put in. And we do see that this has to be collinear with the midpoint. So we'll do that as well. So I'm going to go ahead and go from here to here. And we're going to make that 0.4. And then I'm going to go ahead and kind of zoom in here. And I'm going to hit escape to get my arrow back. I'm going to click on that, hold down control. I'm going to find the midpoint. There it is. Click there. And I'm going to make those horizontal. And so now that is lined up. And I am going to put a little center line there. I'm not quite sure why yet, but since it says to do it, I'm going to do it. So I've got my little center line there, and I'm going to turn off my features right now, so that they're not in the way. Okay, so we got that. Let's go back and see how thick we need to extrude this. So we're going to extrude the base. So let's take a look here. We're going to extrude it, and we are also going to put what's called a draft. And also it wants us to choose reverse because we want this to extrude down. The draft is going to be 10 degrees. So we're going to go ahead to features, extrude boss base, and notice that it wants to come up. You can see it's kind of coming up. We want to reverse that, make it go down. We're going to click our draft, and then we're going to make that 10 degrees. See how that makes that kind of slope in? And I forgot how deep that's supposed to be, so let's check. We're going to do it 1 inch. So I'll click right here, type in 1, and there we are. And so you can see how, I do it like this, you can see how that draft made it slope in. They do that in engineering. If something's going to be injection molded and you want it to fall out of the mold easily, putting a little draft on it helps that a lot. So we'll get it back to where we are here and we'll go on. So we need to go to the next page. We're going to add some big 0.75 fillets, 4 of them. So let's do that. So we'll go to fillet, and they are 0.75. And I'm going to fill it here. I'm going to fill it here, here, and here. So there's our 0.75 fillets. So let's go back and take a look. And it looks like we have a fillet here on the bottom, and that's going to be a 0.25 fillet. So we'll go back here, and we're going to go fillet, and 0.25, and it's going to be right along the bottom. So there's going to be a bunch of clicking. Oh, it went all the way around because we had tangent propagation on. So we're good. So we got that kind of rounded out like we're supposed to. So let's see what we do next. We'll go to the next page. And now we're going to do a offset sketch. So we're going to create a new sketch on the bottom. So let's click the bottom, new sketch, and then I'll just go ahead and make normal 2. So we're looking at that. And then right click on one of the edges and select tangency. So it looks like it's talking about right there. So I'm going to right click and I'm going to select tangency. So that selected all of those. So we could have held down control and just selected them all one by one, but that select tangency really made it faster for us. And so the next thing that we're going to do is we're going to select offset entities. And so that did do an offset. But it looks like we want it to offset to the inside. So we're going to click on the reverse. It looks like our offset needs to be 0.4. So we're going to go click on reverse. We'll make that 0.4. And let's see if there's anything else that we need to do before we finish this up. So we did that. We got the reverse. Now we're going to extrude cut. We're going to go to a depth of 0.2. We're going to have a 10-degree draft, and we're going to clear the draft outward checkbox. So 0.2 is how deep we're going to go. So we're going to go right here and finish the offset. Now go to features, extrude cut, and we want it to go .2, and let's check. So we're going to enable the draft again. It's going to be 10 degrees. And the question is, which direction does it draft? So let's take a look. Looking at this, well, we don't want the draft outward. So the draft outward is cleared. So we're good. So we've got that little thing cut out there. So let's go to the next page. Looks like we have some 0.125 fillets. And so we're going to go fillet. Was that 0.125? Yes. 0.125. Now it wants us to fill it all on the bottom here, and I could select all that one at a time, but if I select this surface, it automatically selects all of them. So that's just a little trick that you need to know. I think it says that in the book if you followed that right. So you can always just select the line, but if you select the surface, it's going to select all the edges that touch that surface. So we got that done. Let's go here to the next one. Then we're going to go a 0.2 fillet, and that's going to be around the outside there. So we're going to go fillet, and it's going to be 0.2, and I'm going to select that right there. Tangent propagation's on, it goes all the way around, and there we are. Next page. Just checking real quick, make sure we're not missing anything. Okay, we want to create the rim feature. So select the upper face of the part. So let's start by doing that. I'm going to go ahead and turn this back to an isometric. So I'm selecting the upper face of the part and starting a sketch. So then we're going to, okay, it is highlighted. We're going to do offset entities. And 0.6 for the offset dimension. So offset entities and 0.6 is what we want. And so let's make sure we're where we want to be here. We definitely want it to be right there. It says click reverse if needed. We don't need that, so we're good there. And so we're going to go ahead and so we're good here. I'm going to go ahead and click normal 2 again, so we're looking at this correctly. And now we're going to go back to this, and it says to delete these two curves and drag the edges together, but we're going to leave it curved on the other end. So let's go ahead and do that. So I'm going to delete that curve. I'm going to delete that curve. I'm going to take this point here and drag it until it lines up right there. And then drag them till they're coincident. I'll drag this one down until it lines up just like that. Okay, we're still good. We're fully defined. And now it says we're going to click the Extrude Boss Base. Using the blind, we're going to enter 0.4 and we're going to draft it 10 degrees. And it looks like we want this to extrude up. So we're going to go to Features, Extrude Boss Base, 0.4, and that's looking good. It's extruding up. We want it to draft. And I don't remember, 10 degrees, we want it to draft outward. See, it's going inward right now, so I'm going to choose draft outward. And we're good to go. Actually, what I want to do is this. So let's go to the next page. Okay, we're going to add another 0.125 fillet, and you can see it goes right around there. So we're going to go fillet, 0.125, and it looks like we need to do it right around there. So let's go, all right. So now we want to create the fold feature. Select the front plane, open a new sketch. So front plane, sketch. So that's a sketch plane right dead in the middle there. No problem with that. I'm going to go normal 2. And so now we want to draw a triangle which starts right there at the origin. So let's do that. And you guys know I don't really worry about dimensions at first. I'm just going to draw the triangle. Coincident with there, go across there. So we've got our triangle now. So now we're going to look at our dimensions. Looks like we want a 45-degree angle and a 0.118. So I'm going to go to dimension. So we're going to go 45 degrees. Now you guys who didn't watch, I actually selected that line and that line. And then just 0.118. So I'm going to go from there to there and come straight down 0.118. And you can see we've got it there, and it is fully defined now. So let's see what we need to do. We need to let's go to the next page. So click Extrude Boss Base for direction 1 up to surface, direction 2 up to surface. So we're going to go Extrude Boss Base, and we're going to select up to surface for direction 1. And that's the surface we want to choose. And then for direction 2, we're going to choose up to surface and choose that one, that plane. And the interesting now that I've extruded that, you can see that since I chose up to that sloped surface, it actually follows that slope on both sides. So we're good. All right, so we've got that. So now we want to mirror the solid body. Select the right plane from the feature tree and select the mirror button. So the right plane, and then we're going to select the mirror button. There it is. And so you can see that the right plane is already selected as the mirror face. Now it says expand the bodies to mirror. Now, you know, you can choose features to mirror, but we're gonna choose bodies to mirror. And then I can just choose anything over here because it's going to choose this entire body. And you can see that it automatically mirrors that. And so we've got this whole thing mirrored out now. And I can go isometric so you can see it all nice and the way it's supposed to be. Okay, so let's go on. So I chose that. It says notes to mirror one or more features of a part. Use the features to mirror. To mirror the entire part, use the bodies to mirror option. So that's what we did. Next is we're going to create the lock feature. So it wants us to go ahead and, you know, I think it'd be easier if I actually make this smaller, and that way we can see what we're supposed to do. So I'm going to select this face right here, start a sketch. I'm going to go normal 2. So we're watching that. Now it says sketch a center line from the origin and use it as the mirror line. So I'm going to go right here. I'm going to select the center line from the origin. And we are going to use that as a mirror line. So I just want to make sure that it's horizontal, and it is. All right. So sketch a small rectangle above the center line. So I'm going to my rectangle command. And I'm going to go ahead and do a small rectangle. And then use one of the mirror options to mirror the rectangle to below the center line. So I can just go mirror entities and mirror about. And there it is. So because it's mirror, I'm going to automatically be symmetrical. So now I can go ahead and start adding my dimensions. And so it's kind of hard to tell here, but this 0.25 is actually to this outside corner. So I'm going to go from here to that outside line there. It's going to be 0.25. Obviously I missed my decimal, so let's just undo that. See, it says 25 instead of 0.25. So let's try that again. 0.25. A little bit better. Then from here to here is 0.6. I'll go from there to there. Actually, it would be good if I get into dimension mode first and then go there. And that's 0.6. And then the bottom here, from here to the center line, is supposed to be 1.65. So we're good there. And the overall thickness right here is going to be 0.16. And you can see they're all there. They're all black now. I am fully defined. So I'm going to go to extrude cut. I'm going to enter 0.15 for the depth. So extrude cut. 0.15 is the depth. And we're going to enable a 3-degree draft. So draft, and we're going to change that to 3. And so we're good. And so if you kind of zoom in there, and I revolve this, you can see that it did do what it was supposed to do. So let's go to the next page. Now we're going to create the locking cavity. So now we're going to select over here and start a sketch. I am going to go normal too. And of course we're going to do a center line again, similar to last time. So starting right here at the origin, just a horizontal line. There's my little thing that says it's horizontal. So I got that. And it says draw another little rectangle. And then we're going to mirror it about this line right here. So we're good there. And then we're going to add the dimensions. So again, that's 0.255. So I'm going to go from there to the outside there. 0.255. And even though I had 3 decimal places selected, it's only giving me 2 here. I can fix that. I go in here, and then I'm going to go to units, and that is all 3. So let's go to system options. And let's go to dimensions, linear, and for some reason that did not change, so I'll change that to 3, and now we have 3 decimal places like we're supposed to. And then this is going to be 1.65 from there 0.65, 0.59 from there to there, 0.59. So we got that. And then from here to here, 0.15. That looks like we're all fully defined. So we're going to extrude boss base. And we're going to go 0.14. And we're going to select the draft, 3 degrees. And you see that time, instead of going in, we actually came out. We do have a little bit of a 3-degree draft, so we're good there. All right. Now we're going to add some 0.32 fillets. So we click the fillet command, 0.32, expand the feature manager, and select the last 2 features. And so this will be something new for you guys. We're going to go fillet, and then we're going to here to the features, and we want it to be 0.032. So let's do that first. 0.032, and then it says, let's check that feature and that feature, and notice that it automatically, and now we could have gone here and just selected all these edges, you know, one by one, but choosing the feature made it so they all did it like they were supposed to. And you can see, oh, so that didn't work. Let's do it again. Fillet 0.032. There's our cut extrude. It worked that time. Okay, I'm not quite sure why I had to do that twice, but if it happens to you guys, just do it twice. So you can see those are all filleted now like they're supposed to be. All right, next page, shelling the part. The shell command hollows a solid model, deletes the faces you select, and creates thin wall features on the remaining faces. During the shell mode, if you do not select any face of the model, the part will still be shelled, creating a closed hollow model. The first selection box is used to specify the faces of the model to remove. The second selection box is used to specify different wall thicknesses. So we're going to go ahead and go back to, I'm just going to go back to isometric. And so now I'm going to click on the shell button. And it says to collect 9 faces. So y'all watch. These are the 9. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So there's my 9 faces that I selected. And then the shell diameter is going to be 0.025, or shell distance I should say, not diameter. I'll click this, and you can see that it hollowed this out, so now it looks just like a styrofoam tray. Now there's a few more fillets it's going to want us to do. It says adding the 0.5 fillets, zoom in on the fold middle part, fillet 0.050, select the 3 edges as shown. Now these are going to be the bigger ones, and so we're going to select the 3 edges as shown, which means we want to do the bigger ones. So we're going to go to fillet 0.050, enter, and I'm going to select that one right there, that one right there, That one right there. Got that done. Going to go to the next page. Now we're going to have some 0.032, so we're going to go fill it. 0.032. Now we're going to go to the little inside rig. One right there, one right there, and one right there. So we got all those things nice, and see how that makes it. Now you can see why that one had to be the big one, that one had to be the small one. Can you see that? If I'd have done a small one there and a big one there and a small one there, it would have been all, it would not have maintained the same thickness going through. So you got to be careful there. So there we are. Save your work using Shell Mirror. So that's what you're going to save it as. I've already got this saved, so I'm not going to save it again. But you guys, to get your mask properties, are going to go right here to your material, edit material, and we're just going to go ahead and choose 1020 steel, even though we know this would never be made out of steel. And then we'll go to evaluate, mask properties, and then just make sure that I can see the mask properties. It's just over 1 pound, 1.003 pounds. I know that is right because I've done it many times. So hopefully this helped you guys. If you had any problem at all, I'm going to post this right now. And again, if you need any help, get in contact with me.